Here we are going to start the new session of chapter 15, waves. Now let us understand the principle of superposition of waves. We know the superposition, it means while more than two quantities that we need to determine. So we are first individually analyze this and then we are taking its net effect together. Here the same way we are going to analyze for the waves. Let us consider that here at a time t equal to 0, initial one pulse is moving towards positive x direction. For example, from the wall, the reflection takes place and the pulse will available in negative direction. And that pulse is available in negative half, that is traveling towards the negative x direction. So as you can see in the diagram A, two pulses are there. Both are moving in opposite direction. So after 1 second, they generate as a complete one wave. But at 2 seconds, both will overlap to each other, but both are in opposite direction, positive and negative half. So it's a net effect will give you the zero result or the zero displacement is available. Then after by the further moving, it's a net effect, it's a displacement can be defined in the opposite direction, and negative half is moving towards negative x-axis and positive half is moving in positive x direction. So here the superposition of waves defines that when the pulses overlap to each other, its a resultant displacement is nothing but algebraic sum of the displacement due to each pulse. Let us take y1 x comma t and y2 x comma t. This is the displacement of two waves, two wave disturbance in the same medium. If the waves arrive in the region simultaneously and they overlap, then the net displacement y x comma t is given by its algebraic sum y x comma t equal to y1 x comma t plus y2 x comma t. So if we are having two or more waves together in the same medium, then their wave function can be defined as y1 equal to f1 x minus vt, comma y2 equal to f2 x minus vt onwards for n number of waves. Then wave function describes the disturbance in the medium, that y equal to summation of all the waves at the same time, that I equal to 1 to n fi x minus vt. This gives the superposition in the basic of interference. Now for the simplicity, let us consider two waves traveling on a stretch string. We are assuming some of the parameters, that both waves are having the same angular frequency, same wave number k, same wavelength lambda, having the same speed v and same amplitude a. And both are traveling in the same direction of positive x-axis. They are just differing from its initial phase value phi. So according to that, two waves while can be described, the y1 x comma t will have a sin kx minus omega t, and another wave we are having y2 x comma t having a sin kx minus omega t plus phi. In first case, we consider phi equal to 0. In second wave, we are having some phase value. So rest of that phi initial phase, other parameters we are keeping constant. So here its a net displacement can be defined using superposition principle, that y of x comma t will give you a sin kx minus omega t, y1 of x comma t plus y2 of x comma t. By substituting that y1 of x comma t and y2 of x comma t, and by solving this, we are having that equation. A would be common. It will give you sin kx minus omega t plus sin kx minus omega t plus phi. So sin plus sin, it will give you 2 sin theta by 2 that is phi 1 plus phi 2 by 2. So here a into twice sine into cos function, that will give you kx minus omega t plus kx minus omega t plus phi by 2 into cos phi by 2. So sine plus sine will give you twice sine into cos function. By representing that value, we are having y x comma t will give you twice a cos phi by 2 into sine kx minus omega t plus phi by 2. By having that initial phase difference is phi by 2. Its amplitude is the function of phase difference phi between two constituent waves, that a of phi equal to twice a cos phi by 2 will give you the amplitude. Now for phi equal to 0, we are having y of x comma t. If phi is 0, then cos 0 is 1. Then it will give you y of x comma t equal to twice a sine kx minus omega t. Right. So this is by substituting phi equal to 0, and its a result will give you the constructive interference of both the waves where their amplitudes are added in the resultant wave. And the resultant wave has amplitude twice a, having its largest possible displacement a. While we are substituting phi equal to 0, then waves are completely out of phase and the resultant wave is 0 displacement, that y of x comma t, that would be 0, because cos pi by 2, that would be 0. So y x comma t will give you the 0, that will give you the destructive interference where its amplitudes are subtract out in its resultant wave. Here, as you can see over here in the diagram, the resultant wave of two waves having equal amplitudes and wavelength. So using the superposition theorem, the amplitude of the resultant wave, that depends on the phase difference. Here we are having in first case phi equal to 0, so amplitude gets double, and in second case that phi is pi, so here that the resultant wave will give you the 0 result. Clear? Next, the reflection of waves. Here, while the waves are propagating in unbounded medium, then wave meets one rigid boundary. That pulse or waves get reflected. For example, echo will generate it. So if the boundary is not completely rigid or in an interface between two different elastic media, then a part of the incident wave is reflected and a part of some wave is transmitted into the second medium, that a refraction takes place. So here if the wave is incident onto the boundary between two different medium, then in second medium transmitted wave, which is known as a refracted wave. Here, as the refraction takes place, then it follows the Snell's law of refraction. And while the reflection takes place, then it follows all the laws of reflection. Here, as you can see in the diagram, how the reflection of the pulse takes place from a rigid boundary. Here in the first, the pulse is traveling further towards the positive x direction continuously, while it meets the rigid body, rigid support. From that, the pulse will be reflected and its amplitude gets reversed. The positive half will reflected and give you the result negative half after reflection. And that reflected wave, now it is moving in opposite direction towards minus x-axis. Here we are assuming that no absorption of energy takes place by the boundary. So the reflected wave has the same shape. Its amplitude is not going to be reduced, but its phase is going to be changed by 180 degree or by pi. Because the boundary is rigid and the disturbance have 0 displacement, at all the times. So using the superposition law, it is possible if the reflected and incident waves differ by the angle pi, then the resultant displacement is 0. And if the boundary is not rigid but it is free, then reflected pulse has the same phase and amplitude as an incident wave as a open end of organ pipe, and the net maximum displacement at the boundary, that is at twice of the amplitude of each pulse. Let us understand by its mathematical content that incident wave is y2 of x comma t, that is a sine kx minus omega t. And from the rigid support, the reflected wave is available, which is defined by yr of x comma t will give you a sine kx minus omega t plus pi will give you minus a sine kx minus omega t. So here, at an open boundary, that reflected wave is available, yr of x comma t, that is a sine kx minus omega t plus phi. As open boundary, then phase difference won't be available. So the result is same, a sine kx minus omega t. So from the rigid boundary, the amplitude gets reversed, and for the open boundary, it remains as it is. So using the superposition law, y equal to y2 plus yr. For the rigid boundary, that would be 0, and for the open boundary, it gets double. Right? Next, standing waves and normal modes. Here, a wave traveling in one direction, it will reflected at one end, which in turn, it will travel and get reflected from that other end. It will go on until there is a steady wave pattern will generate on the string. This steady wave pattern is known as a standing waves or stationary waves. Let us consider that a wave traveling along positive x direction and a reflected wave having the same amplitude and wavelength, but it is traveling in a negative x direction. So let us consider phi equal to 0, then two waves y1 x comma t, that is a sine kx minus omega t, and both are having the same direction, both are the positive pulses are there, and y2 of x comma t will give you a sine kx plus omega t. That second wave is traveling along negative x direction. So using the principle of superposition, its net result y of x comma t will give you y1 of x comma t plus y2 of x comma t. That will give you a sine kx minus omega t plus a sine kx plus omega t. So using that trigonometry, by taking a common, will give the result sine a plus b plus sine a minus b will give you 2 sine a cos b. By substituting that value, we are having y of x comma t equal to twice a sine kx into cos omega t. This kx and omega t are appearing as a result separately with different function. So twice a sine kx, that will give you the amplitude of that particular wave. And this amplitude of this function is varying point to point and oscillate with the same angular frequency omega or time period t. There is no phase difference between oscillations of these elements of wave, and this vibration available in phase by differing its amplitude at different points. So here the wave pattern is neither moving towards the right direction or not moving in left direction. They are now generate a steady pattern and generate a vibration from its mean position that will give you the standing wave or stationary waves. Here the points at which the amplitude is 0, where there is no motion available, which are known as nodes. and the points at which the amplitude is maximum or largest, which is known as antinodes. As you can see over here in the diagram, two waves are there. One is defined by the blue line and another one is defined by the black dark line. Both are traveling in the same positive x direction, where they are moving further continuously. At one point, their crest and throws are available at the same point. They are aligned at one point. At that particular time instant, they both are not traveling further, right? But they are vibrating. Their amplitude is vibrating from its mean position, and standing waves are arise by that superposition law of the two harmonic waves while it is traveling in opposite direction. So here the wave is traveling, one in positive x direction, another one in negative x direction, as you can see further step by step. First wave in which their distance between these two waves are less. As they move further, the distance are increasing, but at one point it defines just like they are meeting at one point, and in the last wave, as you can see that positive amplitude of both the waves are available at the same point, and the resultant blue line, it will give you the addition of both the waves, right? Dark dotted line will give you the wave propagating in positive x direction, and that in negative x direction, and small black dotted line that propagating in positive x direction. While they both amplitudes meet at one point, by the superposition law, its amplitude makes double and it will give you the maximum oscillations. Where its amplitude gets 0, then no vibrations takes place and this standing wave pattern will generate. Here the boundary conditions constrain the possible wavelength or frequency of the vibration. Here the system cannot oscillate by any arbitrary frequency. That should be characterized by the set of natural frequencies or the normal modes of these oscillations. For example, the position of nodes are available by sin kx equal to 0. So here it will give you kx equal to pi or n pi. And here we are having k equal to 2 pi by lambda, right? So here x equal to n pi by 2. So here the distance between two successive nodes are available as pi by 2. Now for the position of antinodes, which gives the largest value of sin kx equal to 0. So that kx equal to n pi or n plus pi by 2 or n plus pi by 2. That will give you the k equal, and we are having k equal to 2 pi by lambda. So x equal to n plus 1 by 2 lambda by 2. So here also between two successive antinodes the distance is available lambda by 2. By defining the boundary conditions that x equal to 0 and x equal to L. So initial conditions that we have defined. By that extreme condition x equal to L, we are having that L is n lambda by 2. So lambda equal to twice L by n. So based on that frequency we are having nV by 2L, right? So here this frequency is known as a natural frequency, the normal modes of the oscillations of the frequency. So this is the lowest possible frequency of the system, which is known as a fundamental mode, or it's a first harmonic of vibration or the vibrating frequency, where two waves will meet at that point at the nodes. The vibration of this amplitude or the particles takes place by its a first harmonic frequency. Clear? Here we are going to end the session. Hope you understood. Thank you.